rise, face the flag, hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please remain standing and join the board in a moment of silence as we honor our veterans, our first responders, and please this week keep in your thoughts and prayers the people of Turkey and Syria after that devastating earthquake. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This evening we have one hearing before us, and the format for tonight's hearing will be like all other hearings. We will have the notice read into the record by Mr. Rivera, at which point we'll ask a representative of the applicant to come up and make a presentation. At the conclusion of that presentation, the board will interact with the applicant, and then at the conclusion of that interaction, we'll open it up to public comment if anyone has any comment, and then we'll invite the applicant back up to answer any questions that may have come up during that discussion. Mr. O'Keefe, do we have an affidavit of mailings? Thank you. And Mr. Gibbons?
Yes, Mayor. The Nassau County Planning Commission's reviewed the application and recommended local determination, and I would ask for a resolution under CEQA declaring this a Type 2 action.
I'll entertain a motion. Motion by Trustee Casado. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Solosky. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Mr. Rivera.
Application of Suleiman Abid for a special use permit pursuant to Chapter 550 of the Code of the Incorporated Village of Mineola, entitled Zoning, Section 550-12, entitled B1 Districts, subsection B, entitled Special Uses to establish a social adult daycare center upon the property known as 185 Willis Avenue, Mineola, New York, known and designated on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map as Section 9, Block 410, Lots 562 through 565.
Thank you. Anyone here representing the applicant? Please approach the podium. When you approach the podium, just state your name, an address, and your relationship to the applicant. If you are the applicant, an architect, an engineer, etc. Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you, everyone, for giving us a chance to speak. My name is Suleiman Abid. I'm the CEO of Rehana Adult Daycare Center. And
Rehana Daycare Center, R-E-H-A-N-A.
Rehana Social Adult Daycare Center. And my address is 185 Willis Avenue, Mineola, New York, 11501.
So tell us, Mr. Abid, about your proposal here. Give us as much detail as you possibly can.
Yes. So, as everyone aware, after COVID, a lot of people, elderly people, they are not going out and they are not socially active and they are not, that much going with the activities. They are getting a little bit homebound kind of thing. So, Rehana, basically, first let me start from the beginning. Rehana is my mother name. It has a connectivity, and that's what we want to strive for, to helping elderly and needy people, to give them a chance to enhance their ability. If you are inside home, then you cannot, you get a little bit more sicker and older and stuff. But if you go, you're physically active, and you meet with the other friend and circle, a lot of time, a lot of people, they don't even have time to speak to their parents. And kids, they are busy with their life and stuff, right, sir? So if they have chance to have their own age group people getting together, and they can meet with them and they can speak in their own language and stuff, as you guys are very well aware that diversity of this area is also like changing and stuff. So that's what we are proposing, to have a social adult daycare center in this neighborhood. And as according to the census of 2020, there is according to 2020 census, there is more than 5,000 elderly with the age of like 65 or above people in Mineola. So, and they would need to have gathering, and they need to, you know, like a little bit socially active, and so that's why we are here.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the operation day to day? How many days a week, hours of operation, and the space or the spaces themselves?
Right now, it's around, we have our architecture here. He can give us better scope, but roughly it's like around 6,000 square feet is the place. And day to day we have our nutrition for their according to their meal, whatever their requirement. And like it's not, we're not gonna cater everyone one. It's gonna be according to we have our physical therapist, behavioral therapist, who's gonna assess their requirement and need, and according to that we're gonna make it a plan of care according to everyone individual. But because some people, they like loud music, some people don't like loud music, you know. And some people they like different activity. Some people like chess, some people they don't want to play chess. Some people, they like to go out and just do maybe window shopping or something like it, just to go out and, you know, like enjoy the weather, see different things. And some people don't want to go out. So it'll be according to their need. That's one. And the operation is like around 6,000 plus square feet.
How many days a week?
5 days a week, Monday to Friday. So it's gonna be from 9 to 2.
9 to 2.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many people do you think, what would be the max? How many people do you think you would be able to host or have per day?
That's we are projecting. It's as you guys, according to, hopefully, like I know, if we get approval from you, then department building, they're gonna do, and they're gonna give us the CO accordingly. Then we will be working according to the requirement.
So I know that we had another adult daycare center here in the village on Jericho Turnpike. I actually don't know if it's operating because unfortunately they opened right before COVID, right on Jericho Turnpike.
Yes.
But at that time, that applicant talked about what state agency oversees you? Who?
Aging.
The agency
Department
of
of
Aging.
Aging,
Okay.
yes.
And so they have criteria
Yes.
for how many people to how many,
10 over 1.
10 to 1?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. What about handicap accessibility?
We have there is a compliance that you have to have a wheelchair accessible. So we have a ramp where we can drop off. They're gonna drop off the people, and then they are able to do it. And then we have regular bathroom, and then wheelchair accessible bathroom is also there. And we have one bathroom with, God forbid, if they drop something, so they can even shower and stuff.
Right, we did see that on the
Yes,
plan.
yes,
So,
sir. Wheelchair accessible bathroom.
so what we're here to do is approve the special use,
Yes.
but you will have to answer to the state agency as to the operation. We're not here to tell you how to,
Right, right.
we're not in the business of running adult daycare centers, but someone, the Department of Health and the Department of State
Yes.
on Aging will make sure that you
Yes.
comply.
Yes, they come, they do the inspection and everything. After the inspection, then MLTC is the one, managed long-term care. They come, they do the assessment, they give approval, and then the marshal, they already came.
fire marshal?
They already assessed and everything. They gave us the approval, and there is like, yeah.
So for everyone at home, this is the building on the corner of Willis Avenue and Garfield, just on the other corner from Corpus Christi Church. You have a parking lot
Yes.
in the back,
Yeah.
accessibility in the back, and it's a two-story
Yes, sir.
building. You're occupying which
First
part?
floor.
Only the first floor?
First floor, yes.
The entire first floor?
Yes, sir.
Now, there was a tutoring facility there, an education facility. Are they still there or they are gone?
The first floor, there is like we have like 6,000 square feet, which is one big brick, and then there is a small, there is another portion, which is a social adult daycare center for the kids.
Handicapped?
Yeah. Well,
Yes,
it's-
disabled. Yep. Mentally, learning disabled. Special
yes,
needs,
Yes, sir.
yes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So that's still there?
That's still there.
And that's not gonna have anything to do with you?
No, there is no interference in that. That's separate block, and this is separate.
I'll leave it to Mr. Casado to ask. I know he has a question. What about garbage, waste? What are your plans? You have a dumpster?
Yeah, we have, and we're paying it, and Winter Brothers.
Winter Brothers?
Yeah, they are the one who's collecting right now.
Okay,
already.
so I actually just Googled you guys here. I just looked you up, and there's a sign on the side that says Rihanna DME, 185 Willis Avenue. That's you
Yes.
guys, right? So obviously that sign is a temporary sign.
Rihanna DME is not on this floor. It's downstairs.
Is there any relationship between that Rihanna and this Rihanna?
Rihanna DME is a medical equipment
Okay,
where elderly people they need braces, they need wheelchair.
Okay.
That's a DME, durable medical equipment. It's another company.
okay.
But yes, that's ours.
Are you going to be putting any signs outside, advertising your
On the
business?
windows and
I know.
stuff,
Sure.
but there won't be any hurdle. Yes, on the windows.
Just make sure that you check with the building department for any signs. You would need a permit for any kinds of signs, so
Yes, sir.
please make sure you do that.
Thank you, sir.
Deputy Mayor?
Hi there.
Hi.
Oh, I have one more question, I'm sorry, because
Sure.
you were talking about nutrition. Is there any cooking on site? Is there any
No.
kitchen?
That's my question.
No, it's
Sorry,
That's okay. Stole
not
my
on
thunder.
site.
so
Yes.
no cooking?
No cooking on site.
No cooking
All
on
brought
site.
in catered.
Yes, they coming from the restaurant. Yeah.
Perfect. That's
Good.
all I had. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry,
It's okay.
you almost got it,
Thank you.
Mr. Casado.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
All right, so when someone gets delivered, they get delivered on Willis Avenue, or they go around the back, or how?
On the back, where is a ramp?
And those doors are big enough for a wheelchair?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's wide.
All right, and they're already there, right? You're not-
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, now you said between 9 and 2,
Yes, sir.
so everyone gets there at 9? My concern is, the church is next door,
Yes, sir.
funeral procession maybe. I wonder if there'll be any kind of interference between your people and the church, funeral procession. If there's gonna be, when people pull up, are they gonna block the procession on Garfield that the church is gonna have?
There won't be, because if the church is on Garfield,
Right,
Red Cross, they have wide entrance, so we could access from that place.
okay.
That's one thing. Second thing, the church already asked us permission to park cars on Sundays and in the event, so we already spoke to them, yes. And in future, the church, they were talking about maybe giving them hand in food pantries and stuff, so we already, I spoke to the church
So, all
people.
right, so you say, so you have been talking with the church?
Yes, sir.
Super, okay, thank you.
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Good evening. Are there age limits or guidelines? Does a certain person have to be a certain age that they need to be to attend this?
Elderly, mostly
Over 60,
elderly or
over
disabled,
65?
yeah.
And any kind of, say, the disability, are they allowed to go there? Dementia or things like that? Do you provide care for that, or is that people on their own that?
Right now, it's yes, dementia is sometimes they forget, but if they get quality care, then it's we have some member. We are in the home care industry for a few years. We have a few our patient who have dementia. Dementia is sometimes you put something and you forget, but if right next to you the person, they are able to handle you, then it's not that of hazard, it's not that of challenge.
But do you,
But,
we have
yes.
medically trained people on site
Yes, sir.
deal with this?
Yes, sir. We have a registered nurse who is the one who gonna, and behavioral therapist. She is also certified, and then there is a nurse assistant and social worker, and like all the staff will be on board. Physical therapist.
And can people come and go as they please? If it's a nice day, can they go for a walk down the street and enjoy outside, or are they strictly in the building?
No, they are not strictly in the building. It's, as we mentioned in the beginning, it's according to people what's their plan of care will be. So it's not one person, it's not like as they please they can go. It's just how their plan of care is. So they have somebody who's gonna look after them. So according to their plan of care, if they are able to go out and, then somebody will be there with them. It's not we can just let anybody can do whatever they want, so there is somebody who is with them so they can assist them.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Very pleasure.
Trustee Solosky?
I just want to follow up on Trustee Clark's issue about the medicine and health issues. If you have individuals, an elderly person who's diabetic, there will be somebody who can give them insulin shots during the day as needed?
Yes, there is a registered nurse on
Okay.
staff,
Mm-hmm.
so she is able to assist on that area.
And then those needles or any blood products would have a separate method of disposal? We're not throwing them in that dumpster in the back, right?
Of course, yes.
Okay.
As you are aware, like we are for DME as well, so we are.
Okay, that was it. That was what
Thank
I
you.
wanted. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not sure you answered the question earlier. How many people do you see? If you were at full capacity, what do you think? How many patients or customers?
It's as we
Oh,
get
it depe-
approval
you
from
said
the,
it
yes,
depends.
yes,
Right.
as you give us the CO, certificate of occupancy,
Right.
that's.
There's regulations as to how
Yes,
many
sir,
people.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
How many employees? So you said you
10
have
over one.
other adult daycare places in other
We
places?
have a home care. It's been a few years. It's been 7 years. We've been doing home care. We have CDPAP home care. As you are aware about CDPAP program, it's a Consumer Directed Personal Assistant program. It's a government program.
So they
We've
go to people's homes?
There is two different programs. One is CDPAP and one is PCA. So PCA, the nurse go to people home, and
Right.
CDPAP is your kids can take care of you. They just need a little bit of training, what they need to do, and according to the compliance and stuff, and then your kids can. It's called CDPAP, Consumer Directed Personal Assistance Program. It's a government program by
Right.
Medicaid.
And so you have experience dealing with the elderly?
Yes, sir.
Dealing with these state agencies, dealing with
Yes, sir.
whatever and wherever you have
Yes,
to?
sir.
I'm sure you have to devise a fire escape plan, right?
Yes, sir.
All of those
That's
things?
that's mandatory. It's in our plan. Like you have to do it fire drill practice as well.
Right, exactly.
It's DOH. When they come, when they see your policy and procedure, they check all those things. And without that, you cannot get.
So I'm just curious, why 9 to 2? Because if I have an elderly parent at home, usually I would take them there, then I would go to work. I would think like 9 to 5 would make more sense. Is there a reason why 9 to 2? And not that this has a bearing on the approval, but rather just me trying to understand your business model. If someone wanted to stay after 2, is there a way they can pay more and stay later?
Over us, like they don't have to pay. It's a New York State
Right.
program. That's one thing. Second thing, if they want to stay more, we can work on that issue. But as the previous record, whatever we observe, it is mostly they wanna the elderly people. They don't wanna stay too long in one place. They get bored and stuff. That's one issue. Second issue is like sometime they have a CDPAP program. So they
So they can have both?
their kids they want to take them home, so at least they can take care of them, and they also get reimbursement for that as well. So kids, when they take care of their parents, they get good amount of money.
And now, obviously, you're in Mineola, you did your research with the census, how
Yes.
many elderly are here, but you would take people, not just from Mineola, from the surrounding communities as well.
Yes, sir. It's all depend on the CO, like how many people I can put in.
And what, there's no you don't have like buses or anything like that to drop them
At
off,
the pre-
ambulettes, or would it usually be the family member dropping them off?
At the present time, we are just waiting for your approval. As soon as we get the approval, we are planning to get 2 buses, so we can provide them a transportation as well.
And those buses then, to Mr. Casado's point, would hopefully pull into that parking lot in the back?
Yes.
And-
We have 2 way of entrance. One is from the church, one is from the other side, from the Red Cross. Red
Right.
Cross mostly like open,
Right.
so it won't be a hurdle as well.
How many spots? In the-
25.
25 dedicated
Yeah,
to?
25, it's
Total.
our own, yeah.
Right, oh, your
Yeah,
own, okay.
yeah.
And that should be enough for your employees?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
okay. Your employees, I assume most of them will be driving there?
Yes, yes,
Right.
sir. Yes, sir.
Anyone else have any questions?
I just have one question.
Yep.
So are you expecting the same people to come every day, Monday through Friday? Or is it kind of like, oh, today I want to go, tomorrow I don't want to go? So could it be-
There is also a thing, then when MLTC approve you, they approve you, it depends what they approve you for. It's not like according to their will, it's just, the nurse do the assessment from the state, and then they do the assessment of their requirement, care plan they create. So managed long-term care, they do the assessment as well. So when they do the assessment and they give, okay, you are able to do Monday to Wednesday, or you are able to do 3 days a week, or 2 days a week, or 5 days a week. So they are the one who's gonna decide and let us know, okay, this member get approval for this. So whatever the authorization is, we have to work accordingly.
Got it. So then you basically could determine how many people are going to be in there every day. It's not going to
Yes.
be, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, so if we approve this project tonight, when are you ready to go? Tomorrow, 2 weeks, 2 months, or?
As soon as I get the approval, I gotta go to department building, they're gonna come, do the assessment, and give us the CO. As soon as I get the CO, I gotta send it to MLTC, and they're gonna do come and do the, all the assessment and everything. As soon the MLTC approve them, then we are good to go.
So that's like 2
About
months
2
or?
weeks. About 2 weeks, probably.
2 weeks?
2 to 4 weeks.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now, I mentioned that other adult daycare center that had been here, and it was a much larger one, but they talked about different activities. There was a room for games like chess and checkers, there was a room for watching TV, there was a room for, playing something else. Are you going to have,
Yes.
different spaces for different activities?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Eventually, when we do the ribbon cutting ceremony, we will have you invite you, and we can show it to you all around. Yes, we will have different rooms and different activities. Yes, sir.
Well, Mr. Casado, I think, is gonna try that out.
Yes. I'm already going to the one on.
Yeah, he goes to the one on Jericho.
He wants to play pickleball there.
He plays checkers.
Thank you.
Well, this certainly, it's unbelievable, because when I saw that first application a number of years ago, the thought had never crossed my mind. When you think about daycare, you think about children.
Yes.
But really, as we have an aging population, and as children work for the most
Right.
part, they are not usually able to take care of their aging parents and relatives, and so I think that this certainly fills a need. It's a great service that you provide. It's peace of mind to know that if I drop my loved one off there at 9 in the morning and I want to go shopping or I want to go to work, that he or she is safe, that
Yes.
they are, being taken care of, being watched over, and, then I pick them up at 2 o'clock and take them home. So I commend you for doing that, and I'm glad that you have experience in this
Appreciate
arena, that this is not, your first try at this. So I wish you all the luck if you should be approved. And,
Thank you very much.
and most importantly, we see your plans here. You're doing some interior, rearranging and ADA compliant bathrooms and showers and plumbing. Please make sure that you stay in touch with our building department every step of the way, so that we can get you open and doing business as soon as possible. So
Thank you very much.
if you have any questions or any doubts, and if, measure
I-
twice, cut once.
Yeah, I see Don in Department of Building upstairs. Don and Mr. Pete, they were very helpful.
John and
Uh,
Peter.
Peter and Don.
Peter, yeah.
Don,
Donna,
lady?
Donna.
Donna, okay, Donna,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes,
yeah,
they are
yeah,
great.
Yeah.
They
with-
make
with the
Mr.
tattoos
O'Keefe
and
look
stuff,
good.
Donna,
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
great.
Donna, okay, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
they're
they
great.
are very
Good.
helpful.
Keep calling them.
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Comments?
No.
We don't have anyone from the public here for comment. Does anyone else from your team want to say anything? Any questions for the architect? No? You're not paying him by the hour, right? 'Cause you are, we're gonna-
He's very helpful. It's volunteer.
Oh, he's a
God have
volunteer.
mercy, like,
Well,
he's like-
Thank you.
Yeah, we asked him like we will be open, but he said, no, I want to come. And
Great.
we really appreciate, thank you, sir.
Thank you very
And
much.
Everybody's appreciate your support, thank you.
Mr. Gibbons, anything precluding us from voting this tonight?
No, Mayor.
Okay. If there are no other questions or concerns, I will entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori, seconded by Trustee Casado. Mr. Rivera, please pull the board.
Trustee Clark,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sartori,
Yes.
Trustee Casado,
Yes.
Trustee Salaski,
Yes.
Mayor Carrera.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Good luck to you, and
Thank you.
keep up the good work,
Praise the Lord.
okay? Thank you, and
All the
and
best.
certainly reach out to Mr. Rivera when you are ready to open. We would love to be there to see that.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
guys.
Have a
Thank
great
Thank you.
night.
Have a good
Great
night.
pleasure.
I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Salaski. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Have a
Thank
great
you.
night. Good luck. Okay, we are going to go right into our work session. We'll just give the stenographer a minute here to break down her equipment. While we wait for that, ladies and gentlemen, I know that last week I spoke about it, but I'm going to say it again. If you have an opportunity, please call your local state elected officials. That would be Senator Martins, Senator Thomas, or Assemblyman Ra. And of course, call, email New York State Governor Hochul about this housing compact. I put out a letter to the governor. We had a press conference here on Friday. I also wrote a letter to the editor. And I did comment on the governor's website as well. I'd encourage everyone to do that, not to go over everything, but if you have any questions about the housing compact and why we feel the way we do, please reach out to the village and we'll be glad to inform you. But just to kind of get it down to it's essential, the state is essentially trying to take over our local zoning control, our local decision-making process, our local home rule, and trying to override our ability to control our own destiny. And that's the simplest way to put it. So I would encourage all of you to get informed on that, and please contact your elected officials, state elected officials, to make sure that the governor pulls that out of the budget, because it could certainly change what we have come to be used to here in the suburbs, okay? With that, we have one item, Mr. Gibbons, correct, from a few months back?
Correct, Mayor.
So if you will,
Back on December 14th, the board heard the application of Lalazarian Properties LLC to construct a residential apartment building at 111 Second Street pursuant to the village's newly enacted Historic Overlay District law. At that time, the application could not be voted because we were still awaiting the review of the project by the Nassau County Planning Commission. At the Planning Commission's January 26th meeting, the Planning Commission voted to recommend a local determination and did not propose any modifications or amendments. In conjunction with the application, the board undertook an environmental review pursuant to CEQA. In order to complete the board's CEQA review, I offer the following resolution. Whereas the Incorporated Village of Mineola Board of Trustees has before it an application by Lalazarian Properties LLC for a development incentive bonus pursuant to Chapter 550 of the Code of the Incorporated Village of Mineola entitled Zoning, Section 550-15.3, entitled Historic Overlay District, to construct a 92-unit multifamily residential building upon the property known as 111 Second Street, Mineola, New York, And whereas the proposed action is an unlisted action under the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act, and whereas the Board of Trustees has reviewed the provisions of CEQA as it relates to the proposed action, including the review of the information contained in the CEQA documentation consisting of parts 1, 2, and 3 of the environmental assessment form and other information in the record with respect to the proposed action. And whereas the potential impacts and the magnitude and importance of potential impacts and benefits have been considered by the Board of Trustees, and a recommendation for the adoption of a negative declaration has been made as the proposed action will not have a significant adverse environmental impact. Now therefore, be it resolved that the proposed action will not have a significant adverse environmental impact, and be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees hereby adopts the attached CEQA negative declaration pursuant to the State Quality Review Act. And Mayor, I'm not going to read into the record the negative declaration. It's multiple pages, but anyone who wants to take a look at it, it's on file in the building department. And if I could have a vote on the CEQA resolution.
Okay, I'll entertain a vote on the CEQA resolution.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Solosky, second
Second.
by Deputy Mayor Sartori. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mayor, the application in chief is now ready for a vote.
Okay. This is our first application under the Historic Overlay District that we created. We had a hearing here that was actually very well attended, and I think this is going to be the template for the type of development that we want to see in our historic downtown, and I think it's going to look great, and now it's ready to move, so I'll entertain a motion to approve this 92-unit building on 2nd Street.
Motion.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Sartori. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Trustee Casado. Mr. Rivera, please pull the board.
Trustee Clark.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Sartori.
Yes.
Trustee Casado.
Yes.
Trustee Solosky.
Yes.
Mayor Carrera.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Congratulations. Looking forward to that groundbreaking. One other thing before we wrap up the work session is I will entertain a motion to approve bills and payroll.
Motion.
Motion by Trustee Casado. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Trustee Clark. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And now I'll entertain a motion to close the work session. Can I get a motion to close the work session?
Motion.
Trustee Solosky, second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Sartori, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Good night, everyone. Thank you very much, and we will see you next week. Thank you.